Welcome. This is Carol Mixon from Skill Check, and I'd like to talk about a kind of a difficult subject, managing vagrancy and self-storage. This is not an easy topic, but I do think it's important for us as an industry to talk about it and to manage it and to be aware of what can happen. I think when you're looking at vagrancy and homelessness in America, it's important to look and see what is where people are going. And you look at statistically, the United States, you pretty much find that people in California, Arizona, Texas, a lot in Florida, those tend to be warmer states. There may have more vagrants in those areas, homelessness in general. But I thought it would be important to show you this because you can see which states have a higher tendency to have homelessness in their states. I I kind of was taken a little bit aback by Hawaii. Hawaii, the islands there are very small, but look, the number is 6,412, which seems like a lot. I mean, it's more than Louisiana and some of the other, huge states are bigger, much bigger than Hawaii. So they have a pretty substantial homeless problem there. Now, bad to worse, I think once you let people start doing something on the property, they tell other people. And if you start allowing people to live in, work out of, hang out all day out of the storage property, then you're going to have them tell other people, and then that brings more people into the site doing the same thing. And you can see that same thing happening here. I believe this is San Jose, California. And it wasn't like this at the beginning, but once it started and it was allowed, more people kept coming and more to the point where it's ridiculously out of control, or at least in my opinion. You need to be observant. That's the first thing I'm going to start with. You watch for signs that people are living in a space. And, these may be customers who enter the gate late and in the evening, and they don't exit before, let's say your office closes and stuff, they still stay in there after that time. So you really want to walk the property. And, I look at this guy here. It looks like he's covered up his unit number too, but the weird thing about it, he's got a dog in there. It's very clean and it looks organized and stuff, but still, self-storage is not a place that people should stay to live or to, work out of or whatever they're doing here. Clearly to me, he's living there and it looks like he's tried to make the best use of the space, but this is not what it's for, and it can cause some serious problems, and we want to be very careful about that. One of the options that you have is to start out with the police, especially in cases where you have them using drugs on the property. I've had people shooting up. I've had, heroin and things like that. And so those things are problematic. When they do something like that, there is a situation where the police will come out, and if they've got drugs on them or they're selling out of the space, whatever's happening, that they can take care of that. So there are some times when the police will help. But then again, there are times that they don't. One thing I can say is remember, don't let it get started. Like this guy, he's going through the trash there. He finds things that and I'm going to say that place doesn't look like it's well kept to begin with, that storage property. I wouldn't allow my dumpster to look like that. I wouldn't allow, I know it's a lot of cardboard boxes there, but still it looks trashy. The place doesn't even look like it's taken care of. But homeless people tell other people, you want to look for indicators. That's the people that are dumpster diving, fence breaches that you might have, backpacks and junk around that you can see, uh-oh, there's a problem. So don't hesitate to be watchful and keep an eye out. So you also want to look for signs of trespassing. And it's interesting because people commonly throw rugs over the barbed wire. And so they say, okay, they can't get in. You kind of are not letting them in through the gate. So they figure out, oh, I can just go over the fencing. So they put a rug over. And sometimes they don't even remove the rugs. They just leave them up there. The manager doesn't say anything. They don't pull the rug down. They don't do anything different. So they just keep it up there and use that way to get in and out in the evenings when they're trying to be, or, using the place to live out of. And you can also watch for step stools or other things that they could get onto to get over the fence. Also watch for dog excrement. I was just going to say poop, but I tried to make it nicer. But anyway, because people that are homeless, they'll toss their dogs over, or they'll take the dogs with them. And if you see that kind of stuff out there, you'll think, uh-oh, they've been here overnight and they let the dogs out and they're going to the bathroom too. So and the customer is probably doing that also. And remember, there are dangers to this, no matter whether they're clean and organized, because this person clearly has kind of a clean, organized space again, but it's not good to have something like that going on at a property. It is not to live in. It is not an apartment place. It's not meant at all for that, because it is dangerous. When people try to live out of this space, they heat up food. Sometimes they use heaters. Let's just say they smoke and toke in the space. I don't know if people still use the word toke, but I'm old enough that, toke was a way to explain that. But, the interesting thing about this is that we're putting other people's goods at risk and other people's lives, and there have been lost lives because of this. So you have to be very careful. There is a particular fire, and I noticed this was on a Facebook post. A homeless tries to get warm and starts a fire. The units responded to working business fire on Austin Road, and moderate smoke and flames showed open storage. The fire destroyed 2 additional units. Several other suffered damage, water damage, because they're okay. Either way, fire or water, it's going to mess up people's goods. So neither one of those are good for us. But the cause of the fire was accidental. A person was trying to stay warm on a cold night, but no injuries were reported in that, which was, at least that's positive. And now I'd like you to listen to this video, because this one's interesting also.
All right, investigators with the State Fire Marshal's Office are cracking down on a new crime trend: people living in commercial storage units.
As ABC2 News' Jeff Hager reports tonight, widespread inspections followed a fire in Cecil County, which destroyed dozens of people's belongings.
This is just a couple of the things I was able to save. Thank God I was able to keep this, because I'll never get this back.
The fire reduced a life's worth of belongings to a charred mess, and Tracy Lefew is still taking stock of her loss.
My bedroom set, my furniture, all of my belongings, everything. Clothing, my daughter's things from when she was a baby. There's so many things. Going through it was just heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, not only for Tracy, but also for 24 other customers who had rented units from Wayland's Mini Storage here in Elkton. Investigators say someone living in one of the 5 by 10 foot units left a heater on, which was plugged into an exterior electric outlet, and it caught a mattress and covers on fire, spreading throughout the building. They have since blanketed both Cecil and Harford counties, warning self-storage operators that it's a crime to allow people to make their homes inside the units.
We found 34 companies operating in both those counties and did a thorough inspection of each one of those. And there actually was one other instance we found in Bel Air, located in an older portion of a storage facility where someone was trying to inhabit.
I'm telling you, just a few units up, I saw something that they were living there.
Tracy Lefew says she became aware that people were living in some of the units a few months ago, when she herself spent the night in her car there with nowhere else to go. She just didn't realize what was at stake and the impact it would ultimately have on her life.
It's devastating. As it was happening, I'm here freaking out thinking, oh my God, this was at the top of my thoughts. My daughter's baby book, things, pictures. I just lost my best friend in September. There's things that I can't get back. They're gone. What do you do?
In Cecil County, Jeff Hager, ABC2 News.
So,
Yeah. While unsafe, the smaller storage units may seem like a cheap option for shelter, about $45 per month.
and it's estimated the fire in Elkton caused $800,000 worth of damage.
That's rough. That's really hard to listen to, not only because, we're so affected by this, But we as storage operators need to take control of this. And I know sometimes you feel like, well, it's cold out and they have nowhere else to go. I think calling authorities, letting the city know that you've got some issue and this person needs some help if you want to go that far with it. But you need to take control of this. One of the things that I do is I limit the time that they're allowed to go down to their space. I overlock the space when they leave. So when they say they're leaving, I overlock the space and they don't get back in it until the next morning. So there's no one there overnight and using any kind of electricity or trying to, heat something up. And I personally have had several fires in self-storage and lost buildings, entire buildings, because people were trying to live out of the space. So it's happened to me many, many years ago because I just got more savvy to, how to keep those people or keep people out in general, because it's dangerous for their lives too. And this is a problem, but we need to, as storage operators, try to handle it the best we can, being kind, but also, realizing that it puts not only this person in jeopardy, but other people. So I think that if you would like to contact us, I can give you some more tips on, how to actually get them out of the space if you're trying to do that. It's carol@skillcheck.com, and then our 800 number is here, and you can visit us on the web at skillcheck.com. Also, please remember, I would love to have you subscribe because my son and I are in some kind of race and he's winning. He's always winning. But please subscribe. I would like for you to listen to these free videos, and it's just fun. And if you have any sort of topic you'd like me to talk about, let us know, because we're happy to take on different topics and we'd be happy to do so. Thanks a lot and happy renting. Bye.